Welcome all to this talk about Click and Collect. I'm Hermine Karatzopoulos, business analyst and expert here at Odoo, and we're going to discuss this very important flow together about Click and Collect. So you have the QR code there that you can scan to add some questions that we'll be answering at the end. Very well, so let's start by understanding Click and Collect. So we also refer to this flow as buy online, pick up in store. So this flow is actually crucial for retailers that are trying to adapt to the ever-evolving landscape of consumer behavior. Luckily, you can implement it with Odoo, and that's what we're going to see together. So how does the Click and Collect work? So basically, the client comes online, he's going to order a product, he's going to choose a pickup location of his choosing. He's going to wait for confirmation. And finally, he's going to come and pick it up in the store and pay if he hasn't already on the website. So for this flow, we're not going to have the home delivery, which is standard with an e-commerce when you buy online. So basically, the Click and Collect flow is offering the convenience of online shopping while maintaining the benefits of traditional in-store retail. So consumers can just browse online products from the comfort of their homes while actually having the benefits of the extensive product range we can find online, and of course they can compare prices. So instead of waiting and paying for the delivery, they can just jump into the store and pick up their package, their order. So we understand that retail is an integral part of an omnichannel strategy. So basically it's going to bring all the sales channels together and create a seamless and consistent shopping experience for your customers. So what's really great with Odoo is that you can start with a POS and then you can just build your website, or the other way around, you can actually start with an online shop and just open your physical stores as you get bigger and bigger. And of course, it's fully integrated. Good, so let's jump into it. Let's see in Odoo how we can configure this. So here I'm in the backend of my database, and we first need to activate a few settings in order for this Click and Collect flow to work. So basically I'm going to go here in my website settings, in the configurations, and I'm going to look for the Click and Collect configuration. So this needs to be activated, and what this will do is actually create a new payment method that's going to be called Pay in Store, which will allow the customer to validate the order online, but pay when he comes into the shop. It's also going to activate a special delivery method, which is called Pickup in Store, and we're going to see together how to configure this, which is going to actually give us access to an interactive map online that we can consult and actually choose in which shop we are willing to go. So the next thing I would advise you to also configure is the automatic invoice. So it's a feature here that will actually create an invoice each time the payment has been received online. So the invoice will be created and the payment will be automatically reconciled. So that's quite nice to have as well. Good, so now that we have our configurations, we can jump into the payment methods, payment providers. And what you can see here is that I have activated two payment providers. So the first one is Stripe. So Stripe is one of the providers we work with, but of course we have others as well. It's just here for the example. Now, all the payment providers you use should be published, of course, on the website. And here I have my second one, the Pay on Site, which is actually the one that we're going to use also in a second flow with our Click and Collect, for which we don't really need to pay immediately. So here you need to publish it as well. So that's perfect. So our payment methods are configured. Let's jump now in our delivery methods. So here I'm going into my delivery methods, and what you can see when you activate the Click and Collect option, you can see that we have here the Pickup in Store one. So it's a special type. And if I open this one, you will see different options here. Now, of course, like every delivery method, you also need to publish it and put it in production. Good, so what's really important to understand here is that you need to link the different warehouses that you want to display on the website. So basically here I have two shops, one shop in Brussels, one shop in Antwerp, and every shop corresponds to a warehouse. Okay, so here I have my shop in Brussels. What you need to do also is to add an address. So here we have a contact that's a link to this warehouse. If I open it, you will see that I have actually added the address of the shop here, which is also going to be displayed on the map. Now, another important thing to also consider is to add the opening hours, so that's quite nice as well. You can say when your shop is actually opened, so we're going to see that in a few minutes as well when we go on our shop. Now, what I have also added here is a description. So basically here you are able to add a description that will be shown actually on the pickup in store method when the client is actually checking out. So what I have added here is that the client needs to wait for a confirmation before coming to pick up the order. So you can also communicate here with the client, which is quite interesting. Good, so what now if we want to add another shop because we're actually growing? So in this case, I would first need to create a new warehouse. So for that, I'm going in my inventory configuration, so one shop corresponds to one warehouse. So I'm going to create a new shop here. So let's say it's a shop in a Belgian city called Liège. Perfect, I'm going to give a short name just to be sure I can, okay. Perfect, so I have here my new warehouse that's created. Now what you also need to do is link, of course, the address of this warehouse. So like I explained, you need to link the content that we created with the right address on it. So let me save that. When I go here on my shop in Liège, you will also see the address displayed here. Don't forget to add the opening hours. So I have here a few configured here. Let's take that one, and so we are set. Perfect, so now we have our warehouse that's created. Let's link it with our deliver method. So I'm going to take the pickup in store, and we're actually going to add that warehouse here in our pickup in store deliver methods to be displayed. Perfect. Now, the next step would also be to have a look at our point of sales configurations. So I have already 2 points of sales here. So my shop in Brussels and my shop in Antwerp. So let's go ahead and create one for Liège. So the idea here is to create a new shop. I'm going to call it Liège. And what's really important here to understand is that you need to link also the right operation type for the stock to be deducted when I'm going to have a sale via my point of sales. So for that, I'm jumping here at the inventory configurations at the bottom, and I'm going to look for my operation type post order in shop Liège. So it's that one here at the bottom. Perfect, and of course I've done that as well for my shop in Brussels and my shop in Antwerp. So let's go now and take a look at our products. So I have here a product. Let's take, for instance, this t-shirt. Okay, let's go here in our products. And here I have my casual t-shirt on which I have some quantities on hand. So basically here I have some stock in my e-commerce warehouse, so 20 units, and I also have 20 units in my shop in Brussels and my shop in Antwerp. Okay, but I have no stock in Liège. Perfect, so now we're set to actually test our flow on the e-commerce. So the first flow I'm going to present you is, of course, from the customer perspective to start. So the first flow will be to order online and actually pay online as well. So let's do that. So I'm adding here my casual t-shirt. And what you can see here, and that's a new thing we have here in V18, is the pickup in store option here. So when you click on it, you will actually see that the shop in Brussels has, for instance, only 17 available units and the shop in Antwerp 20, but in Liège we actually have none of them. And what's really, really interesting as well is that here on our map, we can actually see the different shops, and I can choose the one of my liking. So let's take the shop in Brussels, and let's actually choose this location. Perfect. So now I can actually move to the checkout. I can view my cart, and I can process that. So here in the delivery step, what you can see is indeed that we have our pickup in store shop in Brussels. So it's in Rue Neuve 103 and 23. And we can also see the description that we actually set up on the delivery method. So the client knows he actually needs to wait for confirmation before coming in the store. Great, so here everything looks good. Let's continue, and let's now pay online. So I'm using Visa here. I've already added the details of my payment card, and let's pay now. Great, so now we have an order that has been confirmed. So let's go in our backend and see what happened there. So it's order 62. So here I can see a few information. So what's interesting to note here, for instance, is that our products are not delivered yet. Of course, the client hasn't come yet to pick them up. The order has been invoiced. Indeed, if we go into the invoice, you will see that it's already labeled as paid because the reconciliation happened automatically when the payment was received on the e-commerce platform. Good, so this information I can also find here, so we can see that the transaction has been created and that we have the payment here in the chatter. Great, so regarding the delivery, what's very interesting to note is that because I chose my shop in Brussels, the order is also going to reserve the stock in the shop of Brussels. So if I look at the associated delivery, I'm going to indeed see that the stock needs to be deducted from Brussels and the reservation is going to happen there. Of course, it's still in ready status. That's because the client hasn't come yet to pick up his order. So the idea would be here, if you have a store that has all the stock in the shop itself, it would be to go in the shop, pick the item up and actually put it aside for the client and reserve it manually. So when you do that, you can actually also add an internal note here and say that the product has been reserved. So once this operation has been done, what you can do is actually send a message to the client. So you will go here into the send message option of the chatter, and you can very easily pick up the click and collect template that you have created to inform the client he can come pick up his order. Great, so let's send that to the client. Perfect, so now the client is informed and he will come in the shop in the next few hours to pick up his order. Now, because you have paid online, what you would need to do here is actually when the client comes, go on the delivery. Okay, so you see from the invoice that the order has been paid. That's very clear. And what you can actually do is just validate here the delivery. And so the stock is going to be adapted for this product. So the person has come and has taken the order. Great, so let's go on our t-shirt and see what happened here with our stock. So what you can see here is that we have an on-hand quantity of 19. So it has been decreased, of course, the product came out of our stock. Great, so that was our first flow, the flow where the client actually pays online and comes in the store to pick up his product. So we are actually confirming the delivery manually via the sales order here. Perfect, let's go into our second flow. So let's do this again. And this time I'm actually going to pay in the store. So let's go again, choose our casual t-shirt. And here I can actually pick my shop in question. So let's take Antwerp this time. So I'm going to choose this location, add it to the cart. And now if I browse and actually look at the second t-shirt here at my right, you will actually see that the shop Antwerp has already been selected and it already tells us that it's not available here in this shop. So, okay, let's go ahead and just process this order like that. So let's check out. And here again, you can see now I have my shop entry in the pickup in store, and we have, of course, the address that shows. Perfect. Let's go ahead. This time, I'm not going to pay online. I'm actually going to choose the other payment method we have configured, so the pay on site. So the client doesn't pay yet. He's going to pay when he comes to pick up his order. Perfect. So let's process that. And here you need to keep in mind that it's a bit different because the client hasn't paid. Okay, so I'm going to go into the backend. We're going to go in the sales order. And here I see the order that has been created. So here the difference is that the order is in status quotation, okay? This is very important to understand because the products have not been reserved yet, because as we haven't received the payment, this is actually how Odoo works. So you can actually go ahead and confirm this order manually. And what you can see here is that when you do that, the delivery is going to be created, and so we have a product that will be reserved for this shop. So here again, if I go in my other info and I look at the warehouse, this time it's the shop Antwerp that is actually impacted. So the order is created for this warehouse. Now, if we go here and look at our delivered and invoiced quantities, you will see that, of course, nothing has been delivered yet, and nothing has been invoiced, of course, because the client hasn't paid yet. So just as for the payment online, you can see here that the customer has selected to pay on site. So this is very clear. You actually need to process everything into the point of sales. Here again, you can actually add a note that the product has been reserved. And you can also inform the client. So going back, choosing my email template that I have previously created. And so I can very easily communicate with my client. Great, so now let's imagine my client is back and he wants to actually get his order. Let's go in our point of sales. So let's open our shop in Antwerp. And here what's really interesting to note is that you can actually fetch the sales order that you have created in the backend into the point of sales in order to deliver automatically the products, but also pay the order. So that's what the point of sales does actually when you validate an order. So let's go ahead here in the action and let's choose quotation order. So you're just pushing the quotation or the order into the POS. So here, of course, you could search based on the customer name or based on the SO number. So let's do that. I know it's order 65. And here I'm finding the order in question. So let's go ahead and settle this. So settling the order, this means we're going to have the inventory impacted and we're going to also pay the whole price, the whole order amount, which is not the case when you just apply a down payment. So let's go ahead and do that. But my client came into the store and he actually saw nice products and he's going to add them as well in the cart. So here I can add, for instance, this nice short, and you can definitely be flexible with that and add products to the order. Perfect. Let's go ahead and pay. I'm going to choose my card payment method. That's the only one I have available right now. And I'm going to validate the order. Perfect. I have an invoice created that I can print and give to the client if needed. And of course, my receipt. Great. So let's go ahead and see what's happening in our backend. So going back on my SO 65. So here I'm going back, opening it. And what you can actually see now is that we have our product that has been delivered and we have our product that has been invoiced as well. So the deduction of the stock happened actually this time via the POS order that we created, where you have the associated picking that is in status done. So if I now go on my product, you're going to see that indeed this time as well I have one less quantity in my stock of Antwerp. We're at 19 and not at 20 like we started. So those were the two flows with our click and collect option. So we saw the flow where you can reserve online, pick up in store, and pay at the store. and the one where you can actually buy immediately online and you just need to pick up in store. Now, I wouldn't advise to use those two flows together because it can get a bit confusing for the cashiers, but either give the possibility to pay online and then you just deliver via DSO, or you actually give the possibility to come and pay at the store. That's maybe the best option for you. Good, so this click and collect flow actually has some benefits. So of course, it has some customer convenience, so the customers can just shop from their homes and they can later come up and pick up the product from their preferred store. So they have no shipping fees, they have no waiting time with deliveries of packages, so it's quite interesting for the customer as well. Now, for the retailer, it can also have increased profits because he actually gets customers to visit their stores, which is not always the case if you just have, of course, an e-commerce. And also, of course, it boosts your profits. Like you saw, we can just add different products that the client can see in the store and just add to the order. And lastly, we have a new unified sales channel. So this actually allows us to bring all the sales channels together. It's not a competition between online or offline, but rather a collaboration that will actually benefit the business as a whole. Thank you very much. That was the talk about click and collect. I hope it was interesting to you.
Thank you, Chloe. Is it working? Yes. Thank you, Chloe. Okay, so for the moment, I have only one question. So if you have questions, please scan the QR code. First, there is a question: why do we need to confirm quotations if the customer wants to pay at the store, and can the confirmation of the quotation be automated?
Unfortunately, it's not possible. It's the same actually if you use a wire transfer. So we find that if the client doesn't pay online, there's still a risk that actually he doesn't come. So we don't really want to confirm the order automatically. But unfortunately, I haven't tried with automation rules, but maybe there's something you can do there.
All right. Is it possible to restrict the dates and time the customer can choose among for the pickup?
I'm not sure you can actually choose that. To restrict the order, no, that for me it's not possible.
Okay. The questions are not finished. Is it possible to add cryptocurrency payment methods?
Ooh, that's quite an interesting question. I'm not sure actually we offer cryptocurrency, but you can come at the sales booth and we can check that with the PO.
Okay. How the cashiers are aware or notified of a new order to prepare in store?
There's no real notification process, but basically what you could do is maybe create an automation where you can create an activity for a specific salesperson, but they can also manually go and check in a while if a new order has been added. If I'm not mistaken, you can actually filter on the orders from the website.
Okay. Is it possible to use the same loyalty program as the website in the POS?
It is actually. You can actually choose if it's available in the POS application, in the sales application, or in the e-commerce application, and you can just play and deactivate or activate in which channel you want it to be visible or working. Yeah.
Okay. They're still rating now. Okay, I have two requirements. Schedule the pickup time using appointment scheduling, and if possible, do a down payment.
I'm not sure. So they want to schedule the pickup time. Yeah, maybe come at the booth so we can do that because I haven't it configured in my database.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's all.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.